Hi, this is Jill from Simple Daily Recipes. How are you? Are you ready to make a super awesome dinner? One of those dinners that's like, it's like #1, powerhouse, plant-based. It covers all the bases. This is it. And it's good. It's really good and it's hard to stop eating. And this dinner has become like our fall favorite. Well, I started making it in one pot and then turned out we'd eat it all up in that one pot and there would never be enough enough leftovers for lunch the next day. So I decided to just start doubling the whole thing. And it actually made it easier to double the recipe because I was able to use an entire head of cabbage, an entire bundle of kale, an entire bundle of collards, and a whole big onion and all this kind of stuff. It's going to look like a lot when you see me making it, but I promise you'll have enough for dinner and you'll be glad that you have enough for lunch or dinner the next day. Awesome, awesome food. Or if you just, you're going to have a party or have some people over, you want to turn them on to an excellent plant-based dinner, then this greens and sausage meal will be the perfect Kickstarter. All right, well, let's get started. Get out your pen and paper. Okay, you're going to need to get out your 2 largest pans. These are my 2 largest pans that have lids, okay? Next, you're going to need a bundle of collard greens, a bundle of kale, a medium-size green cabbage, a large yellow onion, an 8-ounce package of mushrooms, and then my absolute favorite, the field roast apple sage sausage. Okay, and then we're just going to cut up the cabbage and take out that middle core. You can see I'm just kind of digging that thing out. And you just want to roughly chop the cabbage. I didn't know what to call it, the cabbage. My favorite thing about this meal is that you don't have to be awesome with your knife skills, and everything's going to just cook down and wilt. So as long as your pieces are about the same size, everything will cook at the same time. It also helps if you have a big old bowl like I have in the sink. I found that big bowl at a garage sale. I love estate sales and garage sales because grandchildren, they go through their grandma's kitchen things and they just don't understand the treasures that are there. And I scored that big old bowl for like $1. It's awesome. It even has a little hole in the top of it so I can hang it on my wall. They had no idea what they were giving away. Okay, here I'm just cleaning up the kale, and you see I just stripped those leaves off that stem. It's a piece of cake, and then I just roughly chop up the kale. Nothing to it. Now, normally I would chop up more kale than that in one sitting. I would roll it all up and chop it, but I just wanted to show you how to strip the kale off the stem. Now, here's my collards, and I do those a little differently. Here I just try to line up the stems, and then I just cut that thick stem out. You don't have to go all the way up, but you can see where the stem starts to get thick, and that's the part you want to cut out. You can juice the stems. If you're into juicing, you can always juice the stems, but I just put them in my little compost bucket and put them out in my compost bin. And then just roll up the leaves and give them a little chiffonade. Can you see little Poncho up at the top? He's watching us. See him up at the top? He says, "Mom, what you making?" Okay, and then once all our greens are chopped up, I kind of give them a little toss. Just get everything evenly distributed. And then I want to work on the mushrooms. And I like to take the little stem out. And I've already washed these off. I actually just wash them in the little container and get all the little peat moss off of them, and I'm good to go. And I like the mushrooms to be thickly sliced. They work out best this way. My son Max is not crazy about mushrooms, so it makes it easy for him to pick out and makes it easy for me to spot, and I can put more in my bowl. Okay, now for the onion. Notice I saved the onion for last because onions make me cry. And I don't like dealing with them. So, to avoid the pain and suffering, I kind of put them off to the very end. So, this is, and it makes it easier. This is, this way, most of the time we're cutting the onion first and then we have to deal with its angriness the whole rest of the time we're cutting. And this way we make it the last thing to deal with and everything works out. So, okay, all right. See how easy that was? Just got that cleaned up on both ends. And then I'm just going to roughly chop the onion here. I'm not trying to be all fancy, but this is a quick way to chop up the onion. It's my favorite way to chop up an onion. I'm going slow. I actually can chop much faster than this, but, I'm trying to watch and make sure that my everything is in the frame, and I don't want to chop my fingers off, so I'm going a little slow. There you go. Bam, baby. That onion is chopped. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Next for the field roast sausage, smoked apple sage. Okay, so this is what I love about this stuff, is that you don't have to eat it all at once. But when I buy these at the store, I like to catch them on sale, and I buy a bunch of them and I just put them up in the freezer. And when I'm ready, I will just let them thaw out on the counter, and I can use as much as I want. And you saw that they're twisted just like sausage links, so you can just, if you just need one sausage, then you can just cut off one and throw the rest of them back in the freezer. So these are just slightly thawed, and you see that I take the tops of them, just snip off the end, get that little twisty part off, and then make 2 cuts on each side of the link, and then just peel back. And there you go. It does help if these are kind of slightly frozen, or makes it easier to cut. And then I just start cutting really thin. I like making really thin slices of sausage to make it stretch. This is like almost a pound of, vegan meat here. And there's so much flavor in this apple sage sausage that it will season all these greens. It's amazing. And it's not overpowering, it's just really good. And it's really what's going to flavor this whole dish. But but in order to make it stretch, because I really want to make this stuff stretch, I just cut all the pieces up very thinly. Just throw those on top. And it really is enough. Okay, now I've got my pan, I've turned on my burners. They're on medium-high heat, and I'm trying to get them hot. And I'm just going to evenly divide my greens and veggies here. I know you want my big bowl. I know you wish you had one. I wish I had 2. If I ever find another one, oh man. There are times when, when it's summertime and the farmers markets are full, and the black-eyed peas are ready and the pinto beans are ready for shelling. That bowl comes in handy. And when I'm making jellies and stuff like that, oh my gosh, I use that bowl. It is a great bowl. All right, and then just tuck everything down. See, all that worked out perfectly, and it looks really full, but this is all going to cook down. And then I need a little water to get started, but I want to just add a little more flavor. So I'm using the Better Than Bouillon vegetable broth paste, and I'm going to add a 1/2 cup to each pan, and that'll be plenty. Of course, make sure that you actually stir the paste up and get it. But don't worry, if you do like I just did and didn't get it well stirred, nobody will notice. Okay, and then get your lids on and let everything start heating up. And once your pans start getting hot, you can turn the heat down to medium, and then that way you won't lose too much water. Now this is, as you can see, this is the greens have already started to get wilt, and there's not so much, the pot doesn't look so full. And this is probably after about 8 minutes. I mean, not that long. And I'm giving everything a good toss. So about the 8-minute mark, just check the pots, give everybody a good stir. And they'll actually, you know, of course they're going to break down a little bit more. And I want to go for a total of, you know, almost 20 minutes, but not as long as 20 minutes. You really just, somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes of cooking time. See, here's, okay, now this is the next 8 minutes. You know, I went and did something else. I'm actually making cornbread in the background, and while this is going on. Yeah, so it's really easy. I mean, just in the time that this is cooking down, you can have a pan of cornbread going and have it ready in time. Okay, and then right here, everything's really cooked down and it's ready, and I'm adding a half a teaspoon of salt, just regular old table salt, and then I'm going to season it with pepper, fresh ground pepper, and they're good to go. Now you know that your meal is ready. I like my cabbage to be almost translucent, and that's when I know it's tender. And if it's tender, I mean, if it's translucent and tender, then I know that my kale and my collards are tender too. So now we're just ready to plate it up. Oh, look at it. Yum, yum. Yum, yum for my tum-tum. Oh, yeah. There's that cornbread. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, there you have it. Greens and sausage. Try it. Let me know what you think. And if you are not already a subscriber to Simple Daily Recipes, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and share this recipe with your friends. And maybe this recipe and the blueberry pancake smoothie recipe. Oh my gosh, that is so good. You've got to try that. It's so simple, and you know, if you've got kids, you'll love it. If you don't have kids, you can have it all to yourself. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.